Hello, Iconic Fitness team, and welcome to the second week of our nutrition course. So hopefully you guys had a great start for week one. You understand, you've started to track your food in MyFitnessPal, you've written your habit statement, we have a nice clear direction and we're making progress already. So today's video, the first one we're going to start with is maybe the most common question that we get once we start using MyFitnessPal is how to accurately measure your food and to track that throughout the day according to your goals that your personal coach has set for you. So we do see this a lot, and I can understand why it's a concern, and that's why we make it a habit to enter the food in our MyFitnessPal every single day. Because we will slowly start to learn more and more about this, and eventually it becomes very, very easy to do. So let's go through just the general best methodology for the ideal situation. Now, this is not going to be the situation that you're in every single day, but it will give you a nice start. And the more often you can do this, the more accurate you'll be. So the very first step you would actually do is prepare your food at home. So it is a little bit harder to make sure that the calories and the macros are accurate when you're eating out. Even when you find the food in MyFitnessPal, those can sometimes be a little bit inaccurate. Whereas at home, if you're preparing your food, you have a very, very good idea of exactly what's going into it, all the sauces or all what it's being cooked in, the amounts and everything. So the first step, if we can, as often as possible, especially while you're just getting started on this program, is prepare your food at home. The second step for that would be, if possible, weigh your food in advance. There are scales which we can show you, and I can give you a little bit better idea in a later video what that looks like. But the scales are not very expensive. You can buy them on Amazon or whatever, and you just start to weigh the food that you're using. And I know what that might like. I know when I first heard that, it seemed that was just way too much effort. But the truth is, once you've done it for maybe even just 1 or 2 weeks, you start to get a pretty good idea of what stuff weighs. So what is a chicken breast, or what is 1 cup of almonds, or whatever. So depending on what it is that you're measuring, once you start doing it, you start to have a good idea, and you don't have to measure forever. Instead, now when you actually just eyeball it, you'll have a more accurate view. So if you're really committed to getting your results straight from now, try to commit to this for 1 week, weighing your food in advance. It will get easier as you do it consistently, and it won't require nearly as much work. So just try to get through this week, or at worst next week, just weighing pretty much all the food you eat. The foundation you lay now is going to make it really, really key. Is going to be a big key to actually having success throughout the rest of the program. So now, once you've prepared your food, hopefully you've weighed it. As you consume the food, you enter it into the app. So once you finish eating, you go ahead and put what you've just eaten into the app, and you'll be able to check how far along you are towards your goal numbers. So for example, if your breakfast was 450 calories and you're supposed to be eating 2,500 in a day, you will have 2,050 calories left to consume for the day. And as you go throughout the day, go ahead and keep an eye on how close you are to hitting your goals. It'll give you a little bit of idea of how much you have left to eat, and maybe even what that type of food should be. And then the last thing I want to remind you is, remember, we are progressing, not obsessing. So we make progress, we don't obsess. And the idea behind that is, although you're weighing and measuring your food, it doesn't mean if you slip up a little bit during the day that you need to beat yourself up, okay? We make progress over perfection. So, all right, guys, let's get started with that this week, and it's really, really going to help you achieve these goals sooner.